From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, July 29th. It's going to be a fantastic day. Humidity is going to be low with highs in the low 80s. The perfect day to visit the Indiana State Fair on its opening day. I'll get more on that in just a little bit. But first, state senators did schedule a Saturday vote on the Republican abortion ban bill. That's because lawmakers debated amendments until after midnight last night. Senators rejected a push by conservative lawmakers to strip exceptions for rape and incest victims. That amendment would have left the bill only allowing abortions to save a pregnant woman's life. 18 Republicans joined 10 Democrats in voting to keep the rape and incest exceptions, but the votes of many Republicans who want no exceptions will be needed to advance the bill to the House. Amendments senators did adopt include one that requires the state to study how changes in abortion laws affect maternal mortality rates. Another requires notarization of affidavits for those seeking abortions for rape or incest. An Ohio man will stay in jail until his trial for a child rape that's now a flashpoint in the abortion debate. A judge rejected the bond request of Gerson Fuentes. Fuentes is accused of raping a 9-year-old who then traveled to Indiana to get an abortion because Ohio's ban does not allow it. In explaining the bond denial, the judge said Fuentes is in the country illegally and was living in the same home with the girl and her mother. Prosecutors said in court yesterday that DNA testing did confirm Fuentes was the father. And police say the girl identified Fuentes as her attacker. Fuentes faces life in prison without parole if he's convicted. And the attorney for the Indianapolis doctor who performed that abortion says an investigation into the abortion includes complaints from people who never interacted with the doctor. Dr. Caitlin Bernard's lawyer says Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita sent Bernard letters of complaints from California, Kentucky, Missouri, Ohio, and one from Indiana. Rokita said earlier this month he would investigate whether Bernard violated state reporting laws. Bernard has taken the first steps towards suing Rokita for defamation. Indiana can start enforcing an abortion law that had been idled for several years. An appeals court has ended the block of a 2017 law that makes it harder for a teenager to get an abortion without her parents' consent. In almost all cases, parents now must know before a procedure begins. The state took the issue to the Supreme Court after the Roe v. Wade decision, clearing the way for the appeals court to lift the block. And today, state senators plan to debate amendments on an inflation relief bill. The House is scheduled to hold a final vote on its version of an inflation package. Overnight gunfire turns deadly. The city has seen at least 2 shootings since midnight. The deadly scene is 34th and MLK, just across from Crown Hill Cemetery. Police got the call just before 4:30 this morning. Police say the victim died at the scene. They're not releasing a name or any word of who did it. The other shooting happened on High School Road near 38th Street just after 1 this morning. Police found the victim there in critical condition. A federal appeals court ruled in favor of Roncalli High School's decision to dismiss a guidance counselor over her same-sex marriage. The school decided not to renew Lynn Starkey's contract in 2019. Her lawyer then sued the school and the Archdiocese of Indianapolis. The judge's ruling cites freedom of religion protections under the First Amendment. A state of emergency as catastrophic flooding devastates eastern Kentucky. Governor Andy Beshear says at least 8 people are dead. Officials predict the death toll will rise as rescuers work around the clock in continuing rain. Some of those rescuers are from Indiana Task Force 1. 32 members left early last night for Southeast Kentucky. They're all specialists trained in water rescues. Flash floods and mudslides also spread into western Virginia and southern West Virginia, where thunderstorms dumped several inches of rain. Defending IndyCar Series champion Alex Palou says he'll keep trying to win for the team that's suing him, but will race for McLaren next year. Palou spoke to reporters yesterday for the first time since the awkward split with Chip Ganassi Racing went public. Palou says he and Ganassi have not spoken since he made the decision to switch teams, and that Palou no longer has access to team data. Brickyard weekend begins tomorrow with the IndyCar Gallagher Grand Prix at 12. At 3:30, the NASCAR Xfinity Series runs the Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard. Sunday, the NASCAR Cup race is the main event, the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard at 2:30. A now former Hamilton Southeastern swimming coach is facing jail time accused of stalking an OnlyFans model in Wisconsin. A filed criminal complaint shows 48-year-old Matt Papakronis drove to Wisconsin and followed the victim. Documents show he sent pictures and videos showing he was at the model's boyfriend's baseball game and knew where she lived. HSE schools say that they're aware of the arrest and that he's been fired. The district says Papakronis helped coach the team from 2002 to 2009 and then returned in 2018 as an assistant coach. The FBI may work toward a settlement with the athletes who are suing the Bureau. The FBI reached out to attorneys for the gymnasts who are seeking $1 billion. The women accused the FBI of ignoring allegations of sexual assault by former USA Gymnastics and Michigan State doctor Larry Nassar. Nassar is sentenced to spend the rest of his life in prison for sex crimes against athletes in his care. The Capitol Insurrection Committee is looking into whether former President Donald Trump's cabinet talked about using the 25th Amendment. Reports from the Associated Press and CNN indicate the committee interviewed former Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin about it. The committee also heard from one of Trump's chiefs of staff, Mick Mulvaney, yesterday. And it expects to hear from former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in the coming days. Invoking the 25th Amendment would have provided a quick path to removing Trump from office. And the State Fair officially gets underway with opening ceremonies at 8:30 this morning. Gates open at 9. Kansas kicks off the concerts at the Free Stage tonight at 7:30. Then the Hot Air Balloon Night Glow returns at 9 p.m. So much awesome new food there. I've been planning my menu all morning long. There's this loaded Bloody Mary. It has a pulled pork sandwich on it as garnish and fried cheese curds. There is a vegan nacho platter, which actually looks really, really good. The list goes on and on. A mint chocolate milkshake from the Dairy Bar. It looks delicious. So get out and enjoy it. There's lots of entertainment, too. We have all of the information for you in several links on wishtv.com. Finally, somebody has a chance to win the second largest Mega Millions jackpot in the 20-year history of the game. The lottery announced yesterday that the prize rose to $1.1 billion. If someone wins, the cash value option will be worth $648 million. Tonight's drawing is at 11 o'clock. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.